What's going on, America? I just got a notification that popped up about my moderator or something. I'm like, what's the deal here? YouTube always changing up the rules midstream, and then next they want to penalize you, and you like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But anyway, it is what it is. Good morning to all of you. It is a I guess Tuesday, maybe. I don't know. Well, Wednesday, Thursday. Who knows? Who knows what day it is? But I do know this is the day we get to talk about the Democrat Socialist Party.
This is how I learned AI in
there it is.
2025. Watch this.
I got myself a notification of Kevin's Corner. Look at that. And a commercial. I'm going to let it roll while I wait for you guys to jump on. So let's see here. I got one person watching. And yeah. Okay. Michael. Okay. We got 2, 3. Somebody said got the notification. Oh, shucks. Hey, where 2 or 3 are gathered. Yeah, he is in the midst. So now, I see some people coming on. Says Go Kev from Florida. Somebody said hello. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Trying to get this one out early because it was burning deep down in my soul. And I said, I want to get this one out today because I didn't check y'all out yesterday. Plus, my gut tells me if I try to wait until this evening, get my sleep up front and then, talk to y'all on the back end, it might not happen. Okay. So, yeah. So since you guys are now, logging in, this is definitely going to be one that is very informative for anybody who wants to hear. So feel free after the live stream to revisit the video, share it. You can even take bits and pieces and snippets from the video and show your friends or people who might be, flirting around with Democrat socialism, which it's fascinating to me that here we are in our country even having this debate or even this discussion. It's amazing to me. These are things that years ago folks would have laughed at. First of all, can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure you can hear me. Yeah, but years ago, folks would have laughed at this, man. Back in the day, right after, World War I or II or any war, up until about maybe the last 10, 15 years, folks would have been laughing at this. They'd have been like, no way, America, are you kidding me? What? You telling me there's going to be Americans flirting around with socialism? Okay. They would have just been shocked. And my gut tells me that this is a secret way to infiltrate the United States. Like Zuri, I forget his name, the guy from Russia who was talking about how, they use folks to come in and influence the culture. They, insert folks into all of the major institutions in countries that they want to subvert. And it's a slow process, But what he was describing is less in your face. If you haven't seen this video, you got to check it out. It's deep. But it's even less in your face than what we're seeing nowadays. I mean, they just done took the cover off. But there's one more layer. One more layer these Democrat socialists have not revealed. But I think because of modern technology, they may have let the monkey out the bag thinking they were sharing information amongst each other. And somebody got hold to it and may have just let us know exactly what we're flirting with in the United States when people are talking about, I feel pretty favorable towards socialism. Yeah, maybe they need to know what they're really flirting with, including Democrats. I'm talking about the Democrat Party. Now, they're crazy. They're loony. They're far out there. But my gut tells me that they're out there for pretend. See, they're out there pretending. They got some far left radical ideas and stuff, but a lot of that they don't even believe in. It's just a power struggle. It's a way to use Marxist conflict theory, division, so they can acquire more power. But the goal of the socialists is even more radical than these raggedy, corrupt Dems that are just self-serving, that might even come back to bite them on the butt. So we're going to get into it. Maybe expose what's really going on in the Democrat Socialist Party. Now, Before we do that, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms, subscribe to my alternative channel. Got me a notification that we're making progress over on that channel, and now I'm able to do live streams. So I'm going to be announcing my first live stream over there, and you're not going to be invited to the party if you don't subscribe and hit that notification button for my Stop and Think About It channel. In fact, right after this, I'm going to put that link in the description underneath my videos, so you can just click on it and find it, go straight to it. And then finally, if you want to support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal link, please do so. You're welcome. I can always use the financial support because I'm a one-man crew. And you're welcome to participate in the super chat. Now, with no further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, here's the thing. Before we get into the super duper liars, we got to start off with the other liars. Okay, the Democrat Party, they're all filled with liars, but you got like layers and stuff, and so we're gonna get into all of the liars up front, and then we're gonna go ahead and expose what's really going on with this Democrat socialism. So let's go ahead and start. But first, you know what I got to do. What? Like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some G's in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, go ahead and pull up the chat because, I like to see what you're saying so I can respond just in case. And sometimes, the chat goes away and then it'll pop up. I want to see it all the time. I like to make sure I see what's going on, what y'all talking about and stuff. But I also want to see if you guys want to check out Kevin's merch store. You can go ahead in there. And also that number on the screen, 330-974-4607, is the number you can text MAGA to just in case they unexist me here. I'll have a database to let everybody know what's happening. And then finally, like I said, links and stuff to support the channel are below. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. But now let's get into it, y'all. Starting off with the lying left. Boy, I tell you, man, will they ever stop lying? Back in the day, your mom be like, man, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Well, if that is the case, those Democrats are up in the air constantly, like air balloons or something. So now, let's start off with some more lies that we have to expose. See, that's the thing. We have to be the built-in lie detectors in our society. Conservatives are lie detectors. And we even have to deal with people who want to lie to themselves, people who love being lied to. We got to even tell them the truth. It's like, dude, I'm telling you the truth, and it seems to me that you want to accept the lies from these people. You don't mind the lying. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start off with some of the latest lies being told. Let's see what
these are evil people. Yes. These are sick, evil people.
Yeah, I do want to, separate myself from the idea that I'm calling him
from JD Vance.
Well, I definitely want to separate myself from him, and from the idea that that I'm not suggesting. I haven't suggested that Donald Trump is Hitler. I wouldn't say
I don't think any Democrat has.
You see two lies back to back? Man, they are doing synchronized lying right there. That dude just said that he didn't suggest that Trump is Hitler, and then she goes ahead and tag teams with him. They're like the wrestling team of lying. She came right in. I don't think any Democrat has. Are you kidding me? Now see, this is what burns me up. You got Box Body, and then you got this chick. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all think that nobody has the internet. You're thinking, I don't know who you think you're talking to. I mean, even like Democrat voters are probably like, that's a lie, because we say it all the time. Who do you think we got it from? I mean, how you look on TikTok and all of it, how Trump's Hitler, he's a fascist. Where do you think they got that from? But nonetheless, right there on TV, these two are about to set themselves up for failure. These are look-upable lies. I call them look-upable lies. So now you hear that guy. I didn't want to let everybody know I ain't called Trump no Hitler. And she's like, I don't think any Democrats have. So you know what we have to do? We have to check their work.
I actually, and I think it's a smear that they project back on to critics. Excuse me?
Exactly. A smear. Wow. Now, I'm hoping these montages that I acquired are being sent to these two people. If they're on X, if they're on Twitter, if they're on whatever, okay? I hope they send them these montages so they don't think they got away with the lie. See, I can't live knowing that these folks are walking away like, yeah, I think that worked pretty good. I think that it was believable. Nobody caught it. I want them to know that we caught them lying. So let's go ahead.
I haven't suggested that Donald Trump is Hitler. I wouldn't say
I don't think any Democrat has.
Are you shitting me?
They understand the importance of standing for what democracy is and making sure that it does not fall by the wayside.
Okay.
They understand that we have a Timu Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States. Well, I got another thing to tell you, sir.
What? So that's just one, though. That's just one. Yep, there you go. A Timu Hitler. Yeah, but I don't think any Democrat has. But wait a minute. There's more.
Donald Trump speaks about immigrants with the same rhetoric that Hitler did.
We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy.
Wow. Now, you know it's bad. I mean, this chick was so deep in the lies that MSNBC had to retire her. They were like, all right, now, we pimped you out long enough. We've used you completely to the point where we can't even get no more out of you. Yeah, now that Trump has won, we're going to have to cut you loose because, see, you were our secret mission. You were our toilet bowl, commentator. You were willing to get deep down into places nobody else wanted to go. And so after that, they had to cut her loose. So now that's just a couple people that off grip. I mean, I'm sure if we really put our mind to it, we could probably come up with about 600 or 700 of them. But now let's go ahead and just continue to make sure Nicole Wallace and Box Body didn't think they got away with it.
Don't get me wrong, you should be angry at people suddenly making nice with Donald Trump, but instead of snooping Nelly, what about the Democratic politicians who spent 4 years calling Trump the new Adolf Hitler?
Yeah, including you. They had you. What do you call it? Charlemagne, who's insane in the brain. They had you out there saying it too. Yeah, man, you was out there peddling those lies. You fell for it. But look, remember, that guy just made it up in his mind. Now, this is sad. Nobody would be doing this or saying this if it wasn't for the Democrats coming up with this lie. I mean, think about all of the lies that they started off telling about Trump off grip, supported by the media, which subliminally starts to impact the thinking of vulnerable people, the ones that are susceptible to the lies, the brainwashing, the propaganda. And you condition them to be able to associate Trump in some of the worst scenarios or worst examples. You condition them. And so over time, at first, one might have been a little hesitant to call Trump a Nazi, call him Hitler, regardless of how they felt about him. A little hesitant, I don't know if I want to go there. But when you start sharing people's conscience by warming them up, first of all, he's a white supremacist. He's a xenophobe. He's a racist. He's a Ku Klux Klan member. He's a misogynist. And then you slide in a little bit of Hitler, a little bit of Nazism and stuff like that. It's more palatable. So you condition people to become desensitized to calling people the worst things in society. And it all started with these bums right here. Combination between the Democrat Party and, of course, the liberal media. Because it is not natural to just have this drop out of the sky, out of nowhere. If they would have been fair, if they would have treated Trump, like all presidents have been treated, and not launched this complete over-the-top, attack on him, and by calling him everything, nobody would be coming up with this. Nobody would be thinking, you know what I think about when I think of Trump? Hitler. Nobody would be doing that. But yet these folks have conditioned people down through the years to the point they just sling this mess out there. And yet Nicole Wallace talking about, I don't think anybody.
I got another thing to tell you, sir.
What I know is in the early days of the Nazi regime, they started slowly but surely taking away people's rights. And what we're seeing now is the very same thing.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, think about that stupid lie.
Think
about that stupid lie. In the early days, they started they're taking away things. And you got to understand, this is all because Trump is deporting their precious illegal aliens. They have to go ahead and go way over the top to try to get people on board with fighting against Trump deporting illegal immigrants by saying what he's doing is equal to Hitler. Equal to Hitler. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know how insulting that is to any Jew who either survived the Holocaust, have a family member, or just a Jew in general? Hitler never wanted to send the Jews back to wherever they came from. That wasn't his goal. Yeah. Hitler wasn't saying, we'll pay you to leave Germany. Those Jews didn't just say, we're illegal immigrants, we're coming into Germany, and we're just going to stay and take up all your resources. And then Hitler say, well, you know what? We're getting overwhelmed with all of these Jews. Maybe we should send them back to their country. But instead, his plan was to exterminate them. But yet these fools are talking about what Trump is doing with these illegal, undocumented citizens. It's just like what the brown shirts did. It's just like so insulting. Just like when they compare what Trump is doing to slavery. But see, that's their only game. They don't have a real way to justify the stupidity. So now they got to do something crazy. Got to go over the top and shock the intelligence of dummies.
What? I wouldn't say
I don't think any Democrat has. I actually.
Come on, man.
And I think it's a smear that they project back on to critics.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I studied the Holocaust. I helped to build a Holocaust museum. This is what happened in the early days of the Nazi regime in Germany. Everything that he has done has been tearing down constitutional democracy. And that's what happened in Nazi Germany. It doesn't take very long to tear apart a constitutional republic. Indeed, the Nazis did it in 53 days.
Now you hear Box Body? All these references to Nazi Germany is the same thing that Nazi Germany. You hear this? He's a Jew. That's what's crazy. I mean, any of the Jews that aren't, plagued with Trump derangement syndrome should be calling him up going, what are you doing? You're embarrassing the whole Jewish community by saying this, by using these examples. Yeah. See, this is to get people on their side. If you could connect, Trump to a time in history where everybody agrees that, it's evil what happened then. So now all of a sudden we got to fight against Trump if he's doing what we've been taught that Hitler. But see, they done lost sight of what the Nazis really did. They don't know what the Nazis was really about anymore for some reason. I mean, I think they need to update their Nazi knowledge. They need to go and say, wait a minute, let's see what the fascist regime was really doing for us to look at them in the way that they are and then compare it to what they're claiming Trump is doing. And you would land on the fact that these folks are lying to me. They're lying to me using a horrific time in history to manipulate my emotions, to, change my opinion about something that they cannot justify because it's stupid. They can't sit back and justify letting millions of illegal immigrants come into our country, use up our resources, move into the inner city neighborhoods. They can't justify that. So they got to lie to you and tell you this is just like what Trump was doing to Hitler. He's the same thing as Hitler.
And our democracy is almost as fragile. And we're seeing it right now. The dangers that we saw in Nazi Germany, especially in the earliest days of Nazi Germany, are the dangers that we need to react to now.
I mean, these people, man, disgusting. Because they sat around and thought about this. This is a plan. He ain't just out there winging it, bringing up the Nazi Germany. They're sitting around saying, how can we turn this whole deportation effort of Trump into something that people view with disdain? You know what we got to do? We got to compare it to Hitler and Germany, Nazi Germany. Now, that is so unfair when it comes down to fighting, because, see, that means you can't fight. That means you can't stand on why you are suggesting that Trump should stay out of Chicago. Trump shouldn't deport these illegal immigrants. You can't fight fair. You've lost the argument. You've lost the fight when you got to go to Hitler. You lost the fight when you got to go to racism and slavery and all of that stuff. You can't fight. Here I am, knuckling up, getting ready, and you're pulling out some brass knuckles. Yeah, you're pulling out a pistol, and still might get beat. That's the crazy part about it. So yeah, they have strategically sat around and thought about this. That means they know that they're lying. They know the impact of using these examples. They know it. They're like, we're doing it on purpose. We know how bad it sounds. We know how dummies will associate what Trump is doing to Hitler. This is, not coming off the top of the dome. We're like, how can we do this? Let's go to Hitler.
People have criticized me for talking about the Nazi regime. It's the one I know most about because I helped to build a Holocaust museum. This is what happened. People's rights started getting taken away. People got accused of being immigrants. This is before the Holocaust really took place.
You know what? I would love to have a punching box body in the diaphragm competition. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I wish he would go ahead and say, all right, step right up, $5. You could punch me in the diaphragm. That means it would be willful. I would give him the $5. Matter of fact, I might go ahead and take up the whole line. All the folks just waiting behind me like, all right, I want to get a punch into that diaphragm. I'll be like, nope. Here is about $3,000. I'm going to sit here and keep giving you one to the diaphragm until you lose weight. There it is. Yeah, I'm going to beat all of that box off that body. This guy is out here slinging that trash out there like that. And I'm saying, man, you don't realize the damage you're doing. You don't realize how this right here will manipulate the minds of crazy people. You don't realize how this is a conflict when it comes down to the rest of the world and what Trump is doing and how he's solving all of these global issues, dealing with world peace. And here you are calling this man Hitler. If I'm India, if I'm any of these other countries where Trump is out here helping negotiate peace treaties, and I'm hearing this fool up here and the rest of the Democrats calling Trump Hitler, that's an insult to my intelligence. That means here we are allowing Hitler to come in here and negotiate all of these peace agreements between us. See how stupid these people sound when you break it down like this, like I got to do.
There are lots of authoritarians that I could point to. It happens that I know best because I helped build a Holocaust museum sitting next to Holocaust survivors.
That means you should know better than to be comparing Trump to Hitler.
About what the Nazis did in those early years.
I understand that.
I'm not talking about the Holocaust. I'm talking about what they were doing, taking away people's rights, arresting people, asking them for papers.
Who is he doing that to? See, here's what this guy's failing to let his audience know as he's sitting there lying. And I need to be Brett right now because I would have gave Box Body the business. I'd have given him the business. But what he's not telling you is that, those Jews weren't illegal immigrants. They were citizens of Germany. But right here, what he's doing is lumping all of these illegal immigrants in with American citizens to deceive people into thinking that Trump is doing this to everyday Americans that happen to be, of course, they always got to slide people of color. Yeah, straight American citizens. He's just rolling up on them, asking them the question, are you an American citizen? You got a little too much tint to your skin. We got some questions, all right? A little bit shadow on you and stuff like that. You might be an illegal immigrant. That's what he wants folks to believe. That's why he's so deceitful. This dude is a complete lie. He might as well have a serpent's tongue right now. Yeah, but he ain't the only one.
Early on in an authoritarian regime, wherever it is in the world throughout history, this is what happens. It's the beginning of something very bad for a country.
It's the beginning of getting all of these illegal immigrants out of our country that you guys let come in here.
It suggested that Donald Trump is Hitler.
Well, they're lunatics. They've gone crazy. They're crazed people. Trump derangement syndrome. There really is that disease. At first, I found it to be amusing. Now I find there really is.
I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things. But this wannabe Hitler, for sure.
Donald Trump is also very old and a racist and
what else?
A neo-Nazi.
Yep, there you go. Now, dummies don't catch it. See, dummies will sit back and they will internalize all that. They will just gobble all of that down and not stop to think, wait a minute, are you just coming up with different stuff you can call him? Are you just sitting here winging it? I mean, are you really trying to tell me this man is infested with all of these things? How can one man contain all of that evil, all of those isms and schisms and stuff like that? Neo-Nazi, he's a racist, he's a white supremacist, he's a xenophobe, he's a homophobe, he's a climate phobe, he's all of these, and people don't catch it. People don't stop for 1 second and say, wait a minute, you're just slinging labels on this dude. And you're thinking I'm supposed to say, yep, Trump now all of a sudden, after all of these years in the public eye, done somehow acquired all of this evil, all of these schisms and isms, all of that. She's just sitting back there winging it. You can see her looking up in the sky. He's the neo-Nazi. He's the racist. He's let me think what else he could be. That's what it looks like. It looked like she's just a little kid guessing or coming up with different stuff to say. And then you have, the one, the nastiest of them all. You want to see me? Bag of bones, mush mouth, monkey paw hands. Nasty Pelosi, use the big N-word. Oh, yes. And I'm not talking about the N-word that black people use. No, I'm talking about Nazis.
Comparing the tactics of Donald Trump to Mussolini and Hitler is a very legitimate thing.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, without hesitation. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I would have loved for him to say, describe fascism. What have Trump done that is equal to the fascist party? Do you understand? That pea brain would have blew up right there on the stage. Yeah, you think that Kamala Harris could have really deep dove into that? She'd have been like, Anderson, what are you doing?
Donald Trump's modern day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
He is paving the way to become a Vladimir Putin or to become an Adolf Hitler or a Kim Jong-un. That's what he wants to be.
That's what he wants to be. Y'all didn't know that? That's what Trump wants to be. I mean, it sounds so stupid if you are smart enough to know what these people are doing. It's like you're insulting my intelligence. You're sitting here trying to convince me of something that is not even rational. You're telling me Trump went through all of this hell dealing with you evil folks because he wants to be like Hitler, a Mussolini, and he wants to be like Kim Jong-un. And that's his whole goal. You didn't know that? Trump went ahead, gave up a life of luxury, don't take a salary, almost got thrown into jail, almost went bankrupt because they wanted to take all his money, almost was killed because he got shot in the ear. All of that because he wants to be like the Kim Jong-un. He wants to be like Hitler. And even though he constantly tells you how much he loves the country, even though how much he tells us that it is America first, even though how much he protects our country and our interests of our country, even though all of these things that he stands for and has done, these fools are still coming out telling people he wants to be like Hitler. I mean, they don't have the right person in front of them responding like me. See, like me. I want to be in each one of these clips when they say this so I can let them have it.
Not going too far to make a comparison between the president of the United States and the Nazis.
Find me a better analogy.
Well,
Jeez, oh man. You see Beto O'Rourke. And there is the evil one, crooked.
Hitler was duly elected, right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
Yeah, he's telling us what he intends to do. Yeah, somebody said you can't argue with ignorance. No, but I sure can't expose it. See, that's the thing. My whole goal, if they was on the show or if I was sitting there, would be to expose it. I'm not going to convince them. I'm not going to change their mind. I'm going to lay out what I just laid out as I listened to these idiots make these comments. I will be the guy sitting there like, you know what? That sounds stupid. I cannot believe you just did that. You're trying to tell me. I would lay it out to where they're going, oh, shoot, this dude kept it real. Yeah, he didn't tolerate me. He didn't sit back and, let's be. No, I'm going to let you have it for saying something that stupid. And then here she comes out talking about, What did she just say? I had some in my mind. I read that.
Is telling us what he intends to do.
Oh, yeah. He's telling us what he intends to do, and he's doing exactly what he intends to do. Make America great again. And all of the stuff that he's doing, that you guys are whining about, claiming that he's Hitler over, all of us that voted for him and said, no, he's just a president that's doing exactly what he promised he would do on the campaign trail. And y'all don't like it, so y'all got to say he's doing evil stuff. All the stuff he's doing is motivated by him wanting to be Kim Jong-un and stuff. But wait, you think the line stops there? The Hitler lie that we just heard on MSNBC come out of Box Body and Nicole Wallace? Here's some more lying. Here's the latest. Okay, so a few days ago, Caroline Levitt reveals White House ballroom is Trump's main priority, and people are furious. What?
It puts a lot of children, a lot of seniors, and a lot of folks with disabilities at risk by a choice. They are choosing not to fund these programs. They are choosing to prioritize. And when the White House press secretary said the top priority is the ballroom, we could not disagree more.
Now, you know, when Democrats are out saying the same stuff, there's a lie underneath it. There it is. You already know there's a lie coming up. They done sat back and said, all right, how can we take the words of somebody, not Trump's words, but we're going to take the press secretary's words. And now we're going to say Trump, instead of him trying to solve the problem that we can solve by simply signing, to fund the government. We're going to blame Trump for having priorities outside of saving people and making sure that folks can eat and all of this stuff, even though they can just solve this just like that. But instead, here is Homer Simpson head, Tampon Tim, and he's not the only one using this line. So I'm suspect. Anytime Democrats are accusing Trump of something, you always got to go, So what else? Wait, what's this? Rest assured, Trump's top priority is the great ballroom of people who can afford the cover. What is that last word over there? The cover charge. There we go. Yeah. See, I got to read it backwards.
You heard it directly from the White House press secretary that the president's main priority is the damn ballroom at the White House.
Now, I'm just convinced at this point the Democrats only are talking to their dummies. They know there would be no second follow-up, no questions, no wait a minute, does that sound right? None of that. It's almost as if they don't expect us to watch these clips and let them have it. I mean, they just lie so easily. And I'm saying, now, anybody outside of your dummies are going to say, I don't know if that came out like you're saying. I'm going to go back and watch the original clip, and then I'm going to expose you guys manipulating your dummies. But your dummies don't care. Yeah, they like more please, more lies. Unbelievable. So Trump's going around telling everybody all day he don't care nothing about nothing but that ballroom. Nothing but that ballroom. Look at all that.
I mean, he has got the hostages released in Gaza.
Yeah.
So when you say it's his priority, why can a president of the United States not have multiple things that he's doing at the same time? The ballroom, I'm sure, is not to him a massive priority compared to trying to find peace around the world. But surely he can do two things at once.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just too much smart thinking right there, Pierce. Yeah, that's a common sense type approach to the situation. But here comes the liar.
Caroline Levitt came out just days ago and said that the ballroom is his priority.
Wow. The ballroom is his priority. So now let's see more about these lies. Okay. Run this in every ad. Caroline Levitt ridiculed after revealing Trump's main priority. Now you see these folks? Another attempt to trash Trump by deceit. Now, you know it's coming. The truth is going to come out.
You started off talking about the fact that the president is in Japan. The president has time to do everything but what he needs to focus on. In fact, we heard the press.
Now, you see them rapid eye blinks? That's what you got to do when you got those eyelashes weighing your eyes down. Yeah, here she is in a constant state of blinking because each one of those eyelashes are weighing in at about 10 pounds. The president, I'm surprised she don't talk with her eyes closed. Look like she sleep. The president is the eyebrows up but eyes closed. So now, here she is trying to keep those eyes open with those heavy eyelashes as she lies with those eyes. Here we go.
Secretary say that his main priority is the ballroom that no one asked for.
Well, y'all, let's see what she really said.
Go ahead. Good idea.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
In addition to the ballroom and the Rose Garden
I'm going
patio,
to the back. Sorry. Go ahead.
in addition to the ballroom and the Rose Garden patio, is the president looking at any other renovations or significant kind of projects here at the White House?
Not to my knowledge, no. But he's a builder at heart, clearly, and so his heart and his mind is always churning about how to improve things here on the White House grounds. But at this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
What?
Chris.
And compared to what? She didn't bring up that statement. Somebody asked a question, and all she simply said was, well, I mean, at this point, no, I mean, the ballroom is the main priority. And yet these nasty, stinking Democrats had the nerve to go out there saying, she said to Trump, the ballroom is Trump's main priority. Took the whole statement out of context. Why must they do this? I mean, it's too easy at this point. And see, the crazy part about it is when we expose them, we don't have to make up stuff. That's the bad part. When we expose their corruption, their deceit, their lies, their motives, we ain't got to make up stuff. These folks got to make up stuff like this. I mean, daily, they spend more time trying to come up with little ways to undermine Trump, make him look bad, than to actually be doing what they're whining about, which is passing that bill so these folks can get their whatever they got, their SNAP and all of that stuff.
No, they try to pull the wool upon my eyes, monsieur.
Yeah.
They're all lying.
All lying.
No, they lie very well.
Very well.
They're all performers.
Oh, whoa. Fact check. Oh, shoot. Oh. What? CNN getting fact checked? Facts first. Yeah, right.
Facts first. We could not disagree more. Our top priority is
illegal immigrants with criminal records.
So true. Illegal immigrants with criminal records. So now they got to distract from why they ain't signing bills and stuff to get the government going by saying that's Trump's fault. He's traveling all overseas and he's working out these deals and he's signing peace treaties and stuff instead of staying here to do nothing. Because if he stayed here and tried to negotiate with these eggheads, nothing would get done anyway. They ain't trying to get it done, but watch them complain. Watch them whine about the condition of people and Americans and stuff and the healthcare and stuff like that. Look at the taxes they use. Hey, Don, what's happening? So let's see. Senate Democrat blocks government funding bill. What? For 13th time? Good grief. You can't get the answer right after 13 tries? Now let's hear him blame Trump. Let's hear him blame Trump.
I think my question is this. I mean, I take your point about these millions of people. The cost of living is incredibly high.
Okay.
But also, Republicans control the White House. They control the Senate. They control the House. And in the past, Democrats, when Republicans have tried to do something like this, Democrats have argued that the norms of our government should be that you negotiate policy outside of a government shutdown. I mean,
now you hear CNN trying to act like they're fair and balanced. They must be detecting the fact that the polls are showing that the Democrats are stinking it up. The polls are showing that people are blaming them for it, and they're trying to help them. They're trying to save them by giving them subtle hints to go ahead and open up the government. And they're gentle when it comes down to it. They should be digging into them, but you see her, she kind of almost scared to add. I mean, in the past, I mean, is it instead of like, what are y'all doing? Yeah, we all know that y'all are up to shenanigans with this. Yeah, that's what she should be doing. But she tried to ease into it. Basically, we're trying to save y'all from yourselves. We're trying to hint to y'all that this ain't looking good. And look at his response of why he is about to drop the biggest bunch of hypocrisy out. Here's their excuse for their hypocrisy.
I mean, I have, over many years covering Washington, people have said that over and over and over again. And now I have neighbors in the D.C. area who are both employed by the federal government who are having to use food banks. We are heading into Thanksgiving. Why is it suddenly right to do it this way?
Yeah, tell us.
And to do it for this long when it didn't used to be the right way in Democrats' view?
Well, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
Right.
You're talking about...
Y'all see that? Well, that's it. It's Donald Trump. Everything special for Donald Trump. Yeah, all the rules go out the window. when Donald Trump is on the scene. Yeah, we can go ahead and get rid of the statutes of limitations and stuff like that, so Eugene Crazy Carroll can go ahead and try to sue him. Yeah, we'll go ahead and concoction all of these crazy fake trials and accusations and indictments against Trump, because it's Trump. Yeah, we will go ahead and do all of the stuff that it was obvious to Americans that got common sense that you guys were making special, adjustments just for Trump. Anything goes when it comes down to Trump. You can call him a Nazi. You can call him a racist, xenophobe, homophobe, all of that stuff. It's Trump. It's Trump. Now, do you understand? That is a slap in the face to all the people who are relying on stuff. That man just straight up dodged the whole question. That's easy. It's Donald Trump. Oh, so let's see how you can use the Donald Trump excuse to get out of anything.
Norms in the time of Donald Trump. It's also normal.
Right, but Democrats have spent so much time arguing about how maintaining those norms is actually incredibly important in the face of Donald Trump.
It's all out the window.
It's all out the window,
Casey.
All out the window.
Why is it suddenly right to do it this way and to do it for this long when it didn't used to be the right way in Democrats' view?
Well, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
These people are crazy. These people are crazy.
All right, let's do another one.
Yeah.
Adrian? Oh, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
In November of 1999,
okay,
this 93-year-old delivery company brought home $5.47 billion in its initial public offering.
Oh, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
Lift with your what? Back, legs, feet, hernia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
Anthony, give me a boy's name that starts with the letter H.
Oh, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
What a stupid son of a...
Boy, I tell you, Donald Trump for all occasions, man. Oh, yeah. That is the get out of being a raggedy politician answer right there. I see. It's Donald Trump. What's the question again? Why do we let all these illegal immigrants come in? Oh, it's easy. It's Donald Trump. What? Why aren't we signing the bill? Oh, it's because it's Donald Trump. And then, yeah, they come out and they do these performances, guys. Yeah, they're concerned about healthcare. They're concerned about the people. Let's go ahead and hear a couple of these people and their concern about healthcare and how they use some of the extreme things that are going to happen to people if we don't get this stuff done. You know the routine, y'all. It ain't just people are going to be, mildly inconvenienced. Nah, man, people are going to die.
Cuts are blood money.
Blood money.
People will die.
What?
Let's be very clear. Senate Republicans are paying for tax cuts for the wealthy with American lives.
People need kidneys, it's sad but decreed, yet the senator's hoarding one more than she needs. I offer this bill and I hope you'll vote aye, unless of course you just want people to die. Traffic deaths have many crying with fear. Over 30,000 people are dying each year. This modest change I propose must be applied, unless of course you just want people to die. Alcohol deaths are exceeding comparisons. Black people, white people, Native Americans. We need to ban alcohol. It can't be denied, unless of course you just want people to die. Murders are bad. They have no defenders, yet many are committed by repeat offenders. I say lifetime in prison, whatever the crime, unless of course you just want people to die. I don't have a bill or a groan to detail. I just need a short clip for my donor email. Tim, there's blood on your hands. You want people to die. That good? Cool. Tim, dinner at 5? Yeah. The car deaths I mentioned are terrible stuff. Doesn't seem one seatbelt is ever enough. You must vote for my act so that fewer will die. Unless of course you just want people to die. The carbs, the container, we cannot ignore. Whipped cream's killing more people than ever before. This bill would be passed and be ratified if those people that didn't want people to die. Why not weigh all the costs, the effects, the results, empathize with each other as if we were adults, use our brains to craft arguments, not vilify, see that freedom's a trade. You want people to die! I tried.
Yep. You want people to die, y'all. You know that's the excuse. See, all their tactics are exposed. Yeah, so now, remember, here's the defenses when it come down to, the Democrats whining and wanting to get, their way. It's your Hitler. Okay, that's one. Then, of course, it's Donald Trump. We're doing all this stupid stuff because Donald Trump is making us do it. And then when they want to go ahead and make folk think that what they're, asking for and what they want is really important. you got to slide in. People are going to die all the time, over the top. People are going to die. And I sit back and I go, wow, y'all are never, ever measured when it comes down to your examples. I mean, that's what makes you guys so obvious. You're like the kids who come up with the worst. I mean, if I don't get this toy, I'm going to die. Stuff like that. I'll never get to go outside. Never. You'll never get to go outside. You've been in the house since you were born. Stuff like that. Yeah, they sound like kids. And they use these over-the-top examples. And I say, let me guess, people are going to die. I mean, you're not going to explain how us dealing with USAID and cutting all of that crap y'all were spending money on. And all of a sudden, people in Africa are going to die. Children are going to die. People can't get their medicine. People are going to die. And that makes you lose the argument. Right off grip, when you do that, I go, well, then there's nothing else we can do. People are going to die. You didn't even start off saying, well, here's the first 2 or 3 steps before death. You went straight to death. Now you done went to the ceiling. You can't go any further. What example can you give that's worse than that? People are going to die and people are going to hell. That's even worse than death. I mean, that's the only logical next, example they can use to scare folks into say, well, people are going to go to hell, then we might as well go ahead and give you all the money for these. Unreal, man. So now, all of that is just a warm-up for the real radicals in the Democrat Party. Yeah, man. The Democrat Socialists, which basically is now the Socialist Party. And there is a civil war going on up in that funky joint that we need to go ahead and investigate. So let's see. Here we go.
The truth is there's a quiet civil war going on in the Democratic Party right now. You have an extreme left, radical left. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Mamdani is just the banner carrier for that movement. Versus the mainstream moderate Democrats. I
mean, it ain't that much distance between them, man, but I understand. Like I said, see, you got the true believers, which are the radicals. That radical left-wing, socialist part of the Democrat Party who want to tear down the system. These folks over here, they're just corrupt. They don't want to tear it down because the system benefits them. Yeah, they just want to bend and manipulate the system so it will allow them to stay in power forever. Manipulate it, use whatever methods they need to use to stay in power, to get kickbacks, to enrich themselves, and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's what they want. They're not trying to tear it down because they're going, why would I want to tear down capitalism when I get all these kickbacks from Big Pharma? I get kickbacks from all of this. Why would I want to do that? I want to say that I'm fighting against Big Pharma. I'm fighting against all of this. I want to say that because people are dumb enough to think that if I pretend that, I'm fighting for you guys against the big rich folks, then all of a sudden they're going, well, it's us against them. Let's keep voting for these stupid Democrats because, these guys are fighting against the big people, the rich folks and all of this stuff, while all those rich folks are donating to their campaigns. So they don't really want to tear it down like these folks want to tear it down. So now that is true. There is a divide in the Democrat Party. And my gut tells me that the current is shifting towards the crazies.
They call me moderate. They used to call me liberal. Now I'm a moderate because the whole party shifted. And that's what this election is about. It is that civil war. I believe that far left will destroy the Democratic Party.
Oh, yes.
I believe it will destroy the Democratic Party nationwide if that far left becomes dominant.
Yep. So let's check out this far left, this so-called Democrat Socialist wing of the party. Now, this could have all been prevented when Bernie Sanders came out. I'm a Democrat Socialist. Get out of our party. Yeah, this could have all been prevented. When AOC and the rest of the squad rode up on the scene talking about Democrat socialism, get out of our party. We're not the Democrat Socialist Party. We're the Democrat Party, which is basically the Democrat Socialist. But you know what? We can't just tell everybody that. So they allowed folks to come in under that banner to infiltrate them. Now these folks got them on the run. So let's see how the Democrat Socialist Party really feels about the Democrats.
It's no secret that the Democratic Socialists of America hate the Democratic Party.
They do?
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic
party. The Democratic Party is not really our friend.
What?
It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic Party?
Good point. You hear them when they're having their secret comrade meetings, when they're sitting back, having their little, video chats. That's when the truth come out. So somebody then, I guess, released this, and it sounds like these folks got a problem with the Democrat Party too. Are they MAGA? I mean, are they sitting back like us? Because I got a problem with the Democrat Party too. However, these folks got a problem with not only the Democrats, but the whole country, the whole system. So let's see how they really feel about the Democrats.
This odd relationship can be understood with the cuckoo analogy.
The cuckoo analogy.
In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out.
Oh!
The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
What a wonderful analogy. That would make sense. The cuckoo analogy. So let me understand. The imposters. Okay, right now, we need to go ahead and attach ourselves to a major party, but we can't come in with the mask completely off. We can't come in talking about, here we are, we're the socialists, we want to be a part of the Democrats. No, we got to soften it. We got to sit back and pretend that, yeah, we support the Democrat policies for the most part too. Just one thing though, we are a little more radical, not too much. Do you mind if we just put socialists on the end of Democrat? I mean, because because they couldn't start a complete separate party. They couldn't just start off like, all right, we're starting a third party called the Democrat Socialist Party. No, why do that? Why build something when you already got something stupid enough to latch onto? When you got folks who have used tactics that benefit you as a Democrat Socialist to infiltrate them. What? Y'all use identity politics? Great. Y'all use Marxist conflict theory? Great. Yeah. So we'll come in and pretend that, yeah, man, we're down with the cause. As we sit back and take over. Now you're starting to see them starting to kick folks out that nest. When you see Bernie Sanders and AOC doing all of these tours, when you see them on stage and the crowd is packed and you don't see no so-called mainstream normal Democrats there, and the ones that are there are trying to hang in that nest and watch them get pushed out. So let's hear more about how these Democrat socialists really feel about the Democrat Party and what they're really up to.
DSA is not the Democratic Party. We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put a clear, aggressive, principled strategy that pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda.
Bam! This chick is on! They slide in all of these soft targets. All right, here's a place where I think I can go ahead and get in. Soros, you got me? You got me? Okay, good. I think we can get in here. Once we're in, we'll open the back door for everybody. Yeah, once we're in, we will start bringing up issues that are so far, so radical. Yeah, get us in the door. Let us go ahead and build a coalition of a whole bunch of squad members. Let us have the biggest megaphone. Let us work social media way better than you guys can. Let us become more popular. Let us convince more crazy Americans that our movement is growing. Let us desensitize stupid Americans to when they hear Democrat socialists, it just goes right over their head. It doesn't even make them reflexively go, what the heck, socialists? How are who's even? So now they slide in and they start implementing their radical agenda. This is interesting. Now notice those people. We're talking about how they don't like the Democrat Party. Now these dumb Democrats obviously didn't see this. Obviously they're too stupid to pay attention to all of these comrades having their meetings, talking about their real agenda and how they feel about the Democrat Party. Instead, what are they doing? Out there embracing them. Yeah, they're welcoming them in the nest. They're like, they're one of us. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, these eggs are going to start getting pushed out.
Far beyond the party's mainstream.
I
don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups. City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization.
Look at that. This is so clear. As she's breaking this down, I'm like, yep, that's what's happening. Now, you're telling me, though, that the Democrat Party, because they're stupid, they're probably so focused on their own greed, their own agenda, that they're too stupid to realize that they're about to be backdoored. They're too stupid to realize it. Yeah, they're so inclusive that they're allowing the enemy to come right on into their nest. And us as conservatives, we see it clearly. We're going, wow. But at the same time, I think the majority of Americans ain't on it. So it can help us, but if it's not checked, it will hurt us eventually. It will hurt us eventually. But what it is going to do is definitely going to hurt the Democrat Party, because at some point they're going to have to make a decision. The rubber's going to meet the road at some point. These folks are growing in popularity. They're pushing all of these candidates up there, and the Democrats' response is too passive, and they smell it. They smell blood. Yeah, they're like, oh, shoot, they ain't saying nothing about that. They're not trying to check me and Bernie Sanders going on our own individual tour. They ain't doing that. What else can we get away with?
Not the Democratic Party, and certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
A separate entity from the Democrats. Now, this is self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Hawker Jeffries, if you're listening. Yeah, you bent the knee to the Democrat Socialists. All of these other Democrats who's sitting back like, shoot, Mandani is growing in popularity. I think we better go ahead and jump on board. Maybe we can eat the crumbs. Maybe we could ride along with him and benefit off of this. Instead of saying, how about we stump this out of our party? See, but nope, they're tolerating them, letting them get legitimacy in their party. And these folks want them out. It's about time to kick the eggs out the nest.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims.
Yeah.
And in city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
Y'all hear that? The model that we use in New York is 100% replicable. Now I'm saying, are you kidding me? So y'all are trying to duplicate this. See, they're so dumb though that apparently these meetings get leaked, and I'm saying, that's like knowing the playbook and y'all can't stop it. I mean, if I'm a coach and somebody give me the playbook, I'm going, okay, y'all going to be running a rip, C, waggle, boot right for half the game, power left. Yo, how about we put guys over there to stop it? If I've been watching film on you and all you have is a left hook, you're telling me I can't sit back and block that? So apparently these folks in the Democrat Party are going, yeah, they're becoming more radical. It's obvious that they hate us, obvious that they're using us, obvious that they want us to all become this, obvious that they want to duplicate all of these radical folks in all of these cities where if we got enough smart Americans, they're going to start saying, y'all can't win primaries. Yeah, it might be good enough for you guys to go in and win against a sorry behind Democrat because you got enough crazy folks in your city to do it. However, once you get past that one, once you kick that person out the nest, now you got to deal with a whole bunch of other birds that are going, we see what you are, okay? We see you're trying to get into our nest and kick us out of it. We're not going to let you get in there because we want to keep our eggs safe. So now, here's how they really feel and what their intentions are concerning the Democrat Party.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out.
Cuckoo. Yep. And we're about to see a couple of those cuckoo birds right now. We're about to see a couple of those dummies who got pushed out the nest.
Hollowing the party from within.
Building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
Tearing apart the Democratic Party. Good grief. How much more evidence do you need to know what these people are up to? Now, you think they're going to stop at the Democrat Party? You think these radical socialists really just want to go ahead and tear down the Democrat Party? No, these folks want to go ahead and spread this crap across the whole country. We're smart enough to see it and say, we need to stop this mess. Nip this at the bud. But the Democrats, for whatever reason, are too stupid. Yeah, they're sitting here flirting with these people. I'm going, you don't flirt with the devil. Good grief. You know what he's about. But you talking about, wait, now tell me again how you beat that. No, But here they are. Very clear. Fist up. Revolution. Whole bunch of hippies in there. And a whole bunch of useful idiots. And the Democrats are tolerating it.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party. It is here to consume it.
Yep. We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
Wow! How much more clear can it be? Good grief! I tell you, there ain't enough money that the Democrats could pay me to consult for them because I think the whole party sucks. Regular Democrats and these crazy socialists, they all suck. However, you're telling me you can't get a couple people that are consulting for the Democrat, the DNC, to look at these things, to analyze what is taking place in their own party and say, we need to stop this. You mean to tell me that none of these folks got the intuition, the foreknowledge to see what's happening? They're sitting back letting it happen. And then when, it fully manifests itself, it's going to be too late. It's kind of like all of these illegal immigrants. Thank God that Trump came in. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about illegal immigration until Trump ran in 2016. I had no idea how bad it had become. I had no idea how much our borders was wide open. And once Trump brought it up, I'm like, whoa. So wait, we've been letting all these millions of Americans, y'all kept that quiet? And if he wouldn't have won, we'd have woke up one day and we would be the minority. Americans would be the minority. And then we would be getting kicked out the nest. Now that our eyes are open and we see that they tried to plant a big fat dodo egg right in America, we're going, kick those eggs out, okay? Don't want to get bamboozled, blindsided, and wake up one day like, wow, we got kicked out of our own nest. It is stupid for folks to be fighting to allow illegal immigrants to stay here. And you know why they're doing it? Because America is so blessed that they've lost the sense of protecting things around them, their own valuables, their own self, survival. If this was a small village or community, and you got outsiders saying, we want to come in, you're going to be we got finite resources. If you got to go out and till, if you got to go out and make sure you're breeding animals and, milking cows and all of that stuff, you wouldn't be sitting back going, flood our little village with a whole bunch of people from the outside. Folks would have a sense of saying, whoa, more people, the less resources we have to go around, the more competition we have. I don't want folks coming in selling sheep when I'm the sheep seller. I don't want folks coming in talking about that I'm the shoemaker of the city, and you're going, well, Frank's the shoemaker of the city. He's been doing great here. If we were living like that, if folks had that type of sense of protection for their own self-survival, they wouldn't be going, we got unlimited resources. America's an open border. We should have all these people come in. We're blessed enough to bless them. But when those resources get real thin, when you're going, whoa, I only got 10 people here and we barely surviving. I can't take on another 20. Now all of a sudden you're going, everybody get out of here. Scram. We don't want you. Go somewhere else. Start your own whatever. But now, since we live in modern day America, they don't see it like that. They won't see it like that until they wake up and it's too late. As you can see in New York, the majority of voters now are non-natural born Americans in New York. So they've gotten kicked out their nests. And that's when you get a Zohran moron who's about to become the mayor.
It's our duty, DSA,
Here's one.
to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest, and New York City is poised to elect not a Democrat, but Zohran Mandani, an extremist within the DSA.
We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end.
A means to an end. Not a means to an end to make Americans better and make their lives better and all that stuff. Yeah, that's just the stuff you tell us. The means to an end is to get in, acquire power, and then implement your strategy, your policies to destroy what we have. These folks, their party should be banned. We should look at this as a hostile attack from within. I mean, what you talking about? You're a socialist. Back in the day, you could be talking about I'm a communist and I want to run for. They'd be like, man, you're a hostile member in our country right about now. You're not running for nothing. But through conditioning, through desensitizing, through propaganda, we now got enough Americans who would tolerate this nonsense.
The most important thing that we can do is take that and tear down from within.
Tear down from within. They ain't trying to build nothing up. That's why they're okay with Antifa out there tearing up stuff with no goals, no agenda, just wreaking havoc, destabilizing our country, and then their policies are destabilizing. See, that's the key. You want to tear something up that works, that's strong and cohesive, get in there and start working cracks and breaking things apart with stupid policies that don't make sense. And we're about to see some examples of that.
To overthrow our own empire.
Overthrow our own empire. That's their goal, Americans. That's their goal, New Yorkers. Yeah, that's their goal, Democrats who aren't supposedly socialists.
We need a movement that can drive a stake to the heart of empire.
We need to orient ourselves towards insurrection.
Orient ourselves towards insurrection. The whole goal of the Democrat Socialist Party is to get in there and be an insurrectionist. To go ahead and use the example of the dodo bird, push out the dummies, push out all of those folks that said, I guess we can embrace them and bring them into our camp. Now they're out of control and got them on the run. Zohran Mandani. Oh, we're about to see the first example of the dodo egg pushing somebody out. Let's see who the first casualty is. So this right here is at Zohran Mandan's little celebration party. And one of the other eggs wanted to participate. That one of the other eggs was like, well, can I hang in there on the nest and stuff like that? Can I stay in the nest? No. Listen whose name they're calling. Say his name. These are the future voters of the Democrats. Now, see, this goes to show they're more focused on a man than a movement. Mandani, when we, talk about what Trump, he's talking about making America great. We're out there talking about America, USA. We ain't going Trump, say his name. No, we love what Trump stands for. Of course, we love him, but we love the whole idea of make America great again. We love the fact that we are celebrating America, USA. These folks are Mandani, and then adamant about it. Say his name. You want these folks running around our country? You want them to have the majority of folks in our country? So let's see if some of the other Democrats could go ahead and enjoy the nest a little longer. Mandani! All young, stupid kids.
Given the reception you received last night at Zohran's rally where people were chanting, tax the rich, tax the rich.
There's one of the eggs. There's one of the dumb eggs that said, you know what? Sure, come on in the nest. I'm going to support Zohran. Hopefully my egg and his egg can coexist in the nest. But unfortunately, here's our first casualty. They got pushed out that nest.
Are you going to hold the line on raising taxes, even if it means losing an endorsement or getting a primary challenge?
I couldn't hear what they were chanting.
Oh, you couldn't?
I thought they were saying, let's go Bills. I wasn't sure. When you're up there, I heard some noise. I heard a lot of cheers.
Yeah.
But later on, it became clear to me that there is I know there's passion for that. I went in there as the leader of the Democratic Party, whose job it is to unify behind the Democratic nominee.
But they don't want you. See? Whose job it is, that's not a Democrat nominee. He's a socialist communist. See, and that's why you're going to get pushed out the nest. You're not able to identify the threat. Yeah, you're welcoming the threat in. You're trying to unify. You're trying to negotiate with the devil. Here you go. I thought I was trying to unify the Democrat nominee. Such a dummy. Such a dummy. Now, her poll numbers have dropped, and they're thinking that Stefani might even be the beater because she sold out to Zohran Mandani. Let's see how tolerant he is to her, though. Let's see, because I'm sure he's going to let her egg stay in the nest too, right?
I love the energy out there. I told them that. And I want to do is bottle all that up. Use it in a few days. but take that to Long Island and the Hudson Valley.
Without you, though.
Make sure that we can stop the insanity that's happening now while we're in the minority, while we don't have the power, the levers of power in Washington. I want to win back the House through New York. And
you think that's what Zohran and all of them want to do? I mean, we just saw clips of them talking about how they want to tear it all down. And here you are talking about take back the House and stuff like that. No, you're not going to be involved. Now, see, this is crazy. These guys are about to become the same victims as all of the people that they've made victims as well. All of the useful idiots that they've been using to destabilize our neighborhoods, to go out there and protest, old folks, stupid folks, upper class, white liberals, radical, angry black, liberals, all of these people who they've been sending out there to help them, stay in power, and all these radicals who they've been using, knowing that if these folks get back in power, they're not going to want them, doing that anymore. They're not going to be, hey, man, you're too much now, pull back. We've now gotten back into control and got power. They don't even realize, though, that they're also being the useful idiot here, too. They're about to become what they've made a lot of Americans become. And after these Democrat socialists really get their hands into the Democrat Party, you think they're going to tolerate folks like her? You think they're going to be tolerating a Chuck Schumer, a Nasty Pelosi? I mean, heck, the squad tried Nasty Pelosi off grip when they got in. Just got here, couldn't tell, been here, nothing. But Nasty Pelosi checked it. She checked it at the door. But they came in trying to flex and got checked. But they're like, okay, let's lay low. We'll lay low. Let's let the egg grow by laying low. At some point, since these dummies are going to realize, wait a minute, that egg's getting pretty big. We barely got enough room in our nest for our eggs. Instead of pushing that egg out, they're tolerating the egg until they get pushed out. So they're going to become the same victims of these stupid, useful idiots that they've been using.
I saw that stadium.
When I saw that stadium.
Refreshing and energizing to know we can harness all that to be on the same team.
Same team.
To make sure we can do a lot of great things for the people.
You hear her? She thinks they're on the same team. That's what all those Democrat socialists are doing right now. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we're on the same team. Until we have our little comrade meetings on the internet. Talk about how we want to get rid of these folks. But she thinks they're on the same team, y'all. We're in the same nest.
For this state and indeed the country. So, no, it's a great event. I enjoyed being there.
So would you change your mind about taxes?
Because of that event?
Because of that and about him endorsing you.
Well, I didn't ask him for his endorsement. That's the only reason he hasn't.
You hear her? That's the only reason he hasn't. Yeah, that's my question. Did he ask you for his? Did he ask you for yours, rather? And here she is. She was shocked by that question. He hasn't endorsed me because I haven't asked him for my endorsement. You shouldn't have to. You endorse him. It should be easy, right? This is the moment where she realized that, wait a minute, why am I getting pushed out the nest? Why am I falling? I thought we were all in this nest together.
They want to know my timeline, so let's get through this election.
Mandani also declined to endorse fellow Democrat Kathy Hochul for re-election on the debate stage after she endorsed the Queens legislator in his run to lead the nation's biggest city.
Like a fool. Yeah, man. She went ahead, gave the... Now you can't take it back. Can't take it back. No take backs. You done gave this cuckoo egg your endorsement, and now here he is. Let's see how he responds when they ask him to reciprocate that endorsement.
Who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election.
Yeah, after your endorsement helped me win, after I get in and become more popular than you, and the reason you know I will be more popular than you is because you had to come to me and bend the knee. That's why you know I'm going to have more influence than you. See, that's why you thought you can go ahead and mooch off of my movement by showing up, talking about, hello, New York, as they all booed you, as they were like, whatever. We're here to see Mandani. That's what we're here to see. We're here to see the moron, not you. Get you out of here. We want more comrades. And she knows it. So now, this is his response to endorsing her.
Why don't you endorse her?
I appreciate it.
How about a shout out for Elise Stefanik to kick out Kathy Hochul?
The way that prisons are set up in our society.
Now here it is. Here's some of the ways that Democrat socialists will destroy our society, destabilize our communities, tear it down. Listen to this stupid stuff right here. You're telling me these are self-serving, ideas that are common sense that should protect you, your future, everybody around you. You don't make decisions like this if you're trying to strengthen a society. But listen to what his ideas are.
I would argue that they do not work. They do not make us safer. The instinct is to just take that person, the source of that harm, the source of that issue, and then just throw them away. Put them in a cage and throw away the key. And that doesn't address the reason why that harm was created in the first place.
Harm. He calls that harm. Yeah. See, so do you think that is a practical approach if you want to stabilize a civilized society? If you care about the community and you really want to make sure the community stay united, stay safe, protected. But here's this guy saying if you put someone in prison, it's harmful to them. They're the ones that are being harmed. You didn't know that? Now that is such a stupid idea that if he implements it, I can only conclude that you are wanting chaos in our society. You want society to unravel and to break apart. If you are going to unleash all of the crazies, all of the murders, all of the R words, all of these people back into society under the premise that, putting them in prison because they're crazy or they're dangerous, violent, or whatever is harm to them. Unlike all of the people that they will harm when you unleash them. Now, I can only conclude that you want to tear it all down.
A lot of times, people who create trauma for others are those who themselves went through trauma earlier in their own lives.
Now you hear that? He's calling being locked up because of crime trauma. And then I guess all of the people in society that said we have to do something about people who can't coexist in society safely by putting them in some place. Yeah, we're all doing that because we had trauma ourselves. That's right. We've all concluded that we need to remove dangerous people from our society because we've been traumatized, so we want them to be traumatized. It's not because they killed somebody. It's not because they broke the law. It's because I got some hidden trauma in my life that makes me say, lock them up because of the hidden trauma in my life. Do you see how crazy this is? These are not like smart, common sense policies. These are policies that I can only conclude you got evil intentions for society, but he don't stop there.
Right. And I bring all of this up to say that, again, like when we talk about policing, I don't think the system actually makes us safer. I think what it does is it just removes problems out of view. It just...
You hear that? Policing don't make this safer. It just removes problems out of view. No, what removes problems out of view is when the police are gone and they ain't showing up because they have no support. Then we can see all the problems. All the problems become in view very clearly when we look at what's going on the subway in New York, how they're just going around socking people, all these crazy people. Yeah, it's very clear. In all of your S-hole ran Democrat radical cities by you socialists out there and Democrats that aren't socialists, but your policies show us what's really going on. But wait, you think I'm done? You think he's done? Let's see what else going on up there in New York as he's talking about policing don't work. Let's see, what's this? Alarming surge in assaults on New York sparks outrage, public safety concerns. Man enters New York State / cop in face before face. What? Oh my. Seems like we might need more police up there. More support for the boys in blue. However, okay, what's going on? Okay, a cop in...
Did you see that?
A cop in pursuit and got tripped by a boot. Y'all see that cop in pursuit and then got tripped by a boot? That's where folks have gotten to in these liberal cities, to where they just disrespect the police now. Yeah, they look at them as the enemy. Enough Democrats talk about that. We need to get rid of policing. And now you get them just sticking their big feet out while the cop is in pursuit. Let's see what happened to this person. Look at that. Bruh. Obvious. Oh, now she's the victim. Help me.
And in the same way.
Help me. Oh, sound like the fly the original flower. Help me. Someone please help me. So you hear that chick talk about something. Help me after I tried to trip a cop. Now you don't know if that cop was chasing a murderer, a trafficker. You don't know. Man, it's just I feel comfortable enough to try to trip the cop. Now I'm talking about help me. But if you listen to him, that person's the victim.
When we talk about defund the NYPD, the entirety of the push is defund the NYPD and refund all of these different social services.
Social services. That'll keep people safe. Now, you're telling me this man doesn't have intentions on tearing down the system? Who would come up with such an idea that is really trying to protect society? Who is looking at the country and saying, we want to keep the country safe. We want to make sure people are prosperous. We want to make sure people feel like I can invest in my surroundings in my country because, we want to make people feel that way. Not feel like they're scared to come out of the door, out of the house, to where they get so scared to where they surrender all their control over to a dude like this or socialist ideas. So now to tear it down, you got to destabilize it. And this is one step in doing that. Coming up with a dumb idea like, social services. No more police. Social services, y'all.
Things that actually create safety.
Yeah, social services create safety. Since when? Now, the guy ain't stupid. This policy lets me know you want to tear down the system. For you to come up with that and try to lie to common sense people, say the less policing, abolish the police, social services make us safe. I'm going, you're trying to destroy our country. You're trying to tear down the system because that's stupid.
That's what I'd say.
He's got your vote.
He's got my vote.
Yeah, my vote. There it is. That's what's about to happen in New York. Yep.
Vote blue no matter who.
Yep, that's what you're going to get if you vote blue no matter who. But wait, you think the Democrat socialist right here is done? Nah, he's letting us know that I'm here to tear it all down.
Press conference yesterday, they said, can you tell us who your aunt is, who you were referring to? I said, yes, this is my aunt. This is my Zerafui.
Zerafui? Yeah, remember that, y'all? My aunt. Now, remember, guys, he's not here to push a political agenda. No. Oh, but maybe he wants everybody to back up off of him because he's about to implement, a whole bunch of, ideas when it comes down to the Muslims. Okay? Yeah, I'm about to exalt them by saying that they're all victims of, Islamophobia. I'm going to say, even though there's no evidence that New Yorkers, who is one of the most diverse populations, are attacking Muslims. But I'm going to use that as a hedgel, a wedge to slide in a radical agenda, to bubble wrap my radical ideas. So now here he is bringing up the lie he told about his aunt that was scared to wear a hijab during 9/11 on the train, who wasn't in the U.S. and ain't really his aunt.
This is my father's cousin, and this was her story.
So how can you convince New Yorkers if that is the type of person that you are? In other words, that you don't tell the truth?
You don't tell the truth. Thank you. I'm glad this guy brought that up. That you don't tell the truth. Now watch him go ahead and tell the truth by not telling the truth.
Well, it's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
My father's cousin is my aunt.
My father's cousin is my aunt. Since when? Since when? Let me see. My aunt, the second, third cousin, the distant relative is my aunt. So now all of a sudden it's not a lie. That's my aunt.
That's how I referred to her growing up my whole life, Zerafui. And I think to have the takeaway from the New York Post and so many others after I gave a speech outside of a mosque for 10 minutes about the Islamophobia we've seen.
There it is. Hey, man, don't question me about my lies. I'm talking about Islamophobia. Yeah, man. I'm wanting to put all of these social agendas up there right in front of everything. Okay, so when I start implementing my crazy radical ideas and start tearing down New York, and y'all start realizing that y'all let a full-blown snake in the house, yeah, that's when I'm gonna bust it out. I'm only being challenged and attacked because of Islamophobia. It's running rampant, not because I'm here to tear down the whole country, whole city. Yeah, not because of that. It's Islamophobia. I'm laying the groundwork to bubble wrap myself when I implement my diabolical plan.
Seen in this race in our politics to be the question of whether or not Zerafui was my aunt.
We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
What people are you talking about? You think he's talking about Americans? Everyday hard-working Americans. This guy just got to America and he's talking about remaking it in our image. What image is that you speak of? And then here comes some of the followers. This shows you their intentions. These are the people who's backing him. Watch this.
If you think the Zohran thing is happening just in New York, and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken.
Now the bad part, she's talking about waking up in New York City. No, these people are asleep. They're going down to the polls with their eyes completely shut if they're voting for this guy. All of this evidence that I've been presenting these last couple of days, all of the evidence that's out there, all of the stuff this guy's been saying, and they're still going down there going, yes, we will vote for the guy who's going to tear down the country. But these are the type of radicals who are part of his comrades. Watch what she shows.
Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirkman?
Yeah, him's horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
Glad he's not here.
Glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, man?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses.
Useful idiot. Don't know nothing about Charlie Kirk. You know she ain't sitting on the internet watching clips of Charlie. She's not internalizing that. She's just repeating what folks have told her. So now here she is. He was horrible. I'm glad he's gone. Yeah, these are the ones that will go down there and say, Zohran's my person. Click it. Yeah, put a whole bunch of crazy behind radicals like this in place. Folks who want to tear it all down. You think they're going to be tolerant? You think Zohran, if he could have his way, would be tolerating MAGA? You think he'd be tolerating MAGA along with the rest of his comrades and stupid people like this?
Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing. Would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, you see the old lady don't. You should be ashamed of yourself. I should be allowed to wish death on you and everybody else. Okay? Because the stupid Democrat Party has convinced me that Charlie Kirk's evil and you all deserve to die. You all deserve to die. You're MAGA folks. And then you get this woman who is influential and she supports Zohran the moron. Look at her response to the old lady wishing death.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
Look at her friend. Look at this. Look at her.
So listen up, Democratic establishment.
Oh, you notice who she checked? What direction she want to go in? Huh? She wants to push those eggs out the nest. Listen up, Democrat establishment. That means listen up, Hawker Jeffries. If you don't do what we want, we coming after you. Yeah, listen up, Nancy Pelosi. Listen up, Mad Max. Listen up, Chuck Schumer. Listen to this.
You can either jump on board with it, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA.
Ooh, you hear that? You see the warning shot? They ain't even hiding it. They're like, we're pushing all of your eggs out the nest. Get on board with this craziness. Yeah, y'all should all be saying good stuff. All of our supporters should be wishing death on MAGA. That's what y'all should be saying. And then look at this. Here's a bunch of them right here. Listen to what these comrades are saying. Burn it down! Burn it down! And yet, they tell us that, the left is not violent. The left is not unpatriotic. They love the country. And yet all of these comrades right here, when they get a chance, they reveal who they really are, what they really want to do. They ain't talking about change. They ain't talking about building it up. They ain't talking about making it better. Nah, man. That ain't a part of the Democrat socialist ideas. Their ideas is burn it down. No plan for resurrecting something else. It just stops right at destroy it. Now, these idiots will be the first to starve to death. If they burned it all down. You think these idiots know how to survive? They have no backup plan. Just complete stupid. We just want to tear it down and then we're not going to know what to do. We just burnt our whole house down. So anybody got a place I can stay in? Yeah. But they're dumb enough to not even think that through. Yeah, they're willful idiots. Burn it down.
Down with U.S. imperialism!
Down with U.S. imperialism. We got to get these folks, man, out of the country. We got to drive this type of ideology so deep back into the closet that these folks are scared to even come out and whisper stuff like this. We got to beat these Democrats so badly that they vomit these people up and then they also disappear. The whole Democrat Party, they've allowed this type of stuff to exist in our country. They were the gateway to attitudes and behaviors and chants and stuff like that. Yeah, you won't find a Democrat right now that would get out there and condemn these people. Not a Democrat out there would say, man, that ain't what we represent. These folks out. They would sit back, oh, this peaceful protesters, they're doing what they mean, you know. Whereas we're going, this is anti-American. This right here is them trying to destabilize and destroy what we all have. Look, spitting on the flag.
We know that we are in the cusp of dictatorship and authoritarianism.
And the thrust of dictatorship and authoritarians and stuff like that. As I am rich, came over here, benefited off of capitalism, was rescued by the U.S., became a very powerful congresswoman, and I'm talking about some imperial. No, you know what you would have been in? Trouble if we'd have left your raggedy tail in Somalia. Yeah, you wouldn't be running around with millions of dollars. Yeah, you wouldn't be given an opportunity to talk on the mic, and you sure wouldn't be able to marry a white devil. That's what you wouldn't been able to do. You might have been one of 8 or 9 wives, but here you are talking about stuff. We're in the midst of imperialism, trying to tear down. She's one of the eggs in the nest.
We know that if we do not stand up, if we go in silent, our democracy dies.
As we're trying to kill it. That's what we're really trying to do, even though it's not a democracy. See, that's the deception of them. There it is. Yeah, act like the other group is threatening your freedom. So you got to fight against them. But really what you're doing is helping us become powerful enough to push you and everybody else out the eggs. Nest, rather. There's another one. Whose streets? Our streets. Who's the our? Who are these people in there yelling? Our streets. You think it's a hot mix between conservative and liberal Americans? No. All radicals in that audience who think they have the right to the streets. And that's why they act like that. That's why they protest like they do. Whose streets? Our streets.
Apparently, that's how Zohran Mandani's mother felt. In a 2013 interview, she described him this way.
What?
He's a total Desi, completely. We're not Firangs at all.
What's that?
He's very much us. He's not American at all.
Not American at all. Go figure. I couldn't figure that one out. I mean, all the evidence that man left on the internet talking about how he feels about America, how he feels about Israel, how he feels about Western ideas, how he feels about billionaires. Yeah, that guy. The stuff that he's talking about, I'm saying, you're not focused on Americans. When you are introducing policies that obviously will tear down our society, make us vulnerable, make us less safe. Obviously, you come over here to destroy it. Unreal. So let's see what his mama said about him. Because see, when your mama says something about you, she knows you best.
He was born in Uganda, raised between India and America. He's at home in many places. He thinks of himself as a Ugandan and as an Indian.
Now, there's one.
And they just let him come on in. New York. Yep. The dodo or whatever it is, the cuckoo, done laid one of the biggest eggs in that nest. And all those New Yorkers have no idea that, whoa, he's going to push us out the nest eventually. Yeah, with these stupid ideas. But wait, you think it's over? Let's go ahead and hear from Zohran and the stuff he was saying in the past. Because remember, guys, he's as American as apple pie, and he loves the country and he loves Americans. Let's see what he was talking about back then.
One thing that Comrade Marxist Mamdani doesn't want the government to pay for, that would be the police. What? There's one thing Mamdani doesn't want to have happen. And he doesn't.
So he don't want the government to pay for the police, but he wants to pay for sex changes and all that stuff. He wants them to pay for social workers, free choo-choo trains, and all of that stuff. Grocery stores. He wants them to pay for all of that stuff, not the stuff that'll keep you actually safe.
Doesn't even want the police. Send in the social workers, according to a vile 2023 anti-Semitic rant from.
Let's go back and see how he really feels, y'all. See, when you go back and start reading those tweets from the past, yeah, you start to get an idea of what this dude really values, what he feels, and all of that. Yeah, when he thinks nobody's listening or watching or reading his tweets. And now you got to come out and try to lie to everybody and say, no, that was back then. I was younger and I'm saying, I'm different now.
Donnie, the NYPD is actually, don't tell anybody.
What?
They're controlled by Israel's IDF.
Wow. So he's trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He hates the police and he hates Israel. So he just links them together and say they're both evil. And somehow the IDF is controlling Israel. Controlling the police. Controlling the police. Now, I know a lot of police officers. They have no connection to the IDF. Yeah, no connection. But this guy right here, just saying stuff. because he knows the radical, crazy folks will buy into that. And, oh, yeah, that's right. We got to tear down Israel and we got to tear down the police too. Thanks for giving us a 2-for-1 tear down, a 2-for-1 tear down. So that stuff he was saying back then. Now, how do you think the police feel about him? Do you really think this liar who's now went out and pretended to apologize to the police about the hurtful things he said, you really think now he's done changed? You think once he gets in, he's going to invest in the police? All the Jews that he so, well, no, I don't believe in the Antifada and all that stuff. And now we're all in this together. You really think that he's going to get in there and have your best interests? Or just for that matter, any American that ain't a comrade of his? You think he's going to get in there caring about you? Nah, this dude's an activist and a liar. But what else he say?
Take a look.
For anyone to care about these issues, we have to make them hyper-local. We have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF.
It's been laced by the IDF. What the heck?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, so police officers, when your boot is on somebody's neck, it's been laced by the IDF. By the IDF. And I'm going, how did you pull that out your butt? But wait, you think it stops there? Here's the guy who wants to tear it all down.
2020, his words. Quote, queer liberation means defund the police, and quote, we don't need an investigation to know that the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. What we need is to defund the NYPD, not to fake cuts, defund the police. Here's another tweet, quote.
Yeah, you think that guy done changed his mind? He's just doing what we've seen Democrats do constantly. Throw in everything to label your enemy, even if it don't make sense. The queer liberation means defunding the police. The animal safety means defunding the police. Let me see. I really want to defund the police, so I just got to throw stuff. Climate justice means defunding the police. The little kids being transitioned means defunding the police. I'm starting to think what you really want to do is defund the police. So you're using all of these other things to do what? Defund the police. But now he's changed, y'all. Yeah, and defunding the police won't destabilize New York. And the dummies apparently didn't see these past tweets, or they're dumb enough to believe that now I'm different. What else he say?
Oh, defund the harem police. Another, in New York City, 99% of office holders are Democrats, yet they refuse to defund cops who murder with impunity.
Now you hear that? Now the truth is coming out. This Marxist, this dang on communist, this guy who wants to destroy the country, he's saying the Democrats, the same Democrats he's in the nest with, he's already going after them because he's saying they're not radical enough. Now, all of these Democrats need to be on board with defunding the police. That's what they need to be on board with, which of course would destabilize New York. That's what it'll do. But he knows that. Him and all of his comrades, they were all collaborating, and they all want to tear it down. And they want to push out anybody who's not radical enough to what? Defund all of these police.
Electing Democrats isn't enough. We need a political revolution.
No. Wait.
A political revolution. Defunding the police ain't enough. The regular Democrats aren't enough. We need more comrades in. That's what we need. We need more Democrat socialists in, like we were hearing them all say out in the open. But the Democrat Party apparently is too stupid. I guess they're thinking they're bluffing. I guess they're thinking they could change their mind.
Quote, together, we can tax the rich, heal the sick, house the poor, defund the police, build a socialist New York, solidarity forever.
Wow. This guy thinks he's Jesus. That we could raise the dead, walk on water, and turn all these little pieces of bread into... Wow. Listen to all of this stuff. Now, you think this one long ago. This guy ain't that old. These were tweets not far back. And folks think that this guy's different than all of these tweets. Are you kidding me? That's no different than the crazy dude that's running for district attorney in Virginia, who just a couple years ago was talking about murdering folks and kids and stuff like that. And now here is, I want to say that I'm sorry. Are you? Have you really changed? Or are you busted and you're trying to get elected? Same thing with Zohran the moron. This dude has this in his heart. This is the true Zohran right here. And then folks are too stupid to see it.
Now, that should be disqualifying, but sadly, it now perfectly represents the new radicalized Democratic Party. In fact, it's not really the Democratic Party anymore. Instead, there are two factions, the Socialists that hate our American way of life, and then there's the performative Democrats who are clinging to power, bowing at the altar of the radicals, desperate to placate them and soothe that radical base so they can at least be leaders in name only, like Chucky Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries.
And Kathy Hochul. Yeah. See, that's what it is. They're sitting back thinking they're going to be invited to the picnic. Think out there, look, I had your back, right? No, these folks want y'all out. And unfortunately, they want us all out. They want America to bend the knee to whatever ideology they have and whatever ideas they got when tearing it down. I'm going, what are you going to do once it's torn down? That's my question. Yeah, y'all talking about reshaping it, tearing it down. Then what? What is it going to be? Just straight up y'all ruling? That's what it is. And we already know, based on the ideology and the beliefs and the sentiment we've been hearing coming out of the radical base of the Democrat Party, that now is starting to drift towards that Mandani group. These folks want blood. These folks are okay with death. And so Chris Cuomo, not Chris Cuomo, but former Mayor Cuomo, he put out an AI, a little ad, and he got some heat for it, y'all. So he had to remove the ad, y'all. But he went after Mandani with this AI ad. So we're going to check it out and see if it's really offensive and stuff, because apparently it's all racist and stuff like that. And so he took it down. But is there some truth to this ad as we close? Let's see.
Zohran Mandani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical. His policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters think?
Mandani isn't crazy. He's just trying to even the playing field.
Give everyone a fair shot. Sure, he said multiple times we need to defund the police, but that was just a metaphor.
And yes, he did say crime is a social construct, but that was also a metaphor.
Yeah.
His main backer, the Democratic Socialist, ideas are common sense, such as
decriminalizing misdemeanors like shoplifting.
Oh, snap. So look at this. Now, here's this AI generated ad that Andrew Cuomo pulled because he got some heat. Apparently because he used black people in the ad to commit crimes. But wait a minute, he also used looked like a Bob dude with a wife beater on and an old white lady and other white men and stuff. But apparently, because he used an array of people to demonstrate what's going to happen to New York. Apparently that was offensive. So let's continue watching it and see if we can spot some racism, or can we spot some truth to what's going to happen to New York.
trespassing.
Oh, there's a white guy.
And drunk driving.
A white lady. Drunk driving.
Mandani is finally lowering jail sentences. Guilty!
But
Mandani says you're free to go.
Sounds like a Mandani policy to me. I mean, there's a little truth to this AI video.
Who cares if legalizing prostitution statistically leads to an increase?
Oh, legalizing prostitution. Now, wait a minute. Why you gonna make the pimp a brother? That's what I want to know. Why did you make that dude look like Huggy Bear? Look here, baby. Sookie Sue. You dig, baby? And where's my money, baby? Can you dig what I'm laying down on you, man? Yeah, it made the brother a pimp. That might be a little racist right there, a little stereotypical. But hey, I don't remember seeing a lot of white pimps though, honestly. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't see a lot of white pimps during the pimp era. All I saw was brothers with them hats, high heel shoes, platform shoes, bell bottoms, big collars, canes, and pimping with the walk. Yeah, man. I didn't see no white guys talking about where's my money? Better give it to me. You know what? You're going to make me put my hands on you. No, it was the brothers. So here's a pimp, y'all. But the real point that we should take away from this is that he wants legalized prostitution. Now, what do you think's going to happen? You think those prostitutes are going to be out there by themselves? No. That's going to bring back the pimping business. All the old school pimps is going to dust off their hats, their fur coats. Yeah, man. They going to bust out all of that like I'm back in business, baby. Zohran the moron. Then put me back in business, man. So what else? Let's see what else.
Sex trafficking of women and young girls by 70%.
You can't have safety without equality.
Look, is she drunk?
For unlawful abiding citizens like us, globalize the intifada.
Yeah.
I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal.
I'm a criminal.
Yep. I'm a criminal.
For Zohran.
For Zohran Mandani.
That's what's gonna happen, New York.
I didn't have a real job until I was 30, but sure, give me the keys to the city. What's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that can happen, y'all? Oh.
Paid for by Cuomo for NYC.
Oh, yeah, that does look pretty bad. Yeah, what's the worst can happen? Yeah, that right there. So now there was a lot of truth. Lots of truth to that little ad that Cuomo put together. But apparently he got shamed into taking it down, y'all. But I'm sitting there going, no, I don't see what's wrong with it. I mean, kind of, right up his alley. All of his policies that he wants. And I guarantee you, if I'm a criminal, I'm voting for that dude. Hey, you think I'm voting for somebody who's talking about that? We're going to go ahead and bring down crime. No, if I am a person who likes lawlessness, I would be definitely voting for him. Definitely voting for him. So, yeah, apparently this guy has mustered up enough people who want free stuff. He's mustered up a bunch of bleeding heart liberals who have a fairy tale idea of how the world works. Who wants to be a part of a movement, who wants to stick it to the man, and they don't realize they're all simply useful idiots. So you got a bunch of useful idiots up there who are thinking that he's going to bring a utopian society to New York. But that's what's going to happen. That bad boy's about to burn down metaphorically. And it's going to be a mess. And see, I wouldn't be too worried about it if it was maybe a small little city that don't have such a role to play in our economy. If this was Tupelo, Mississippi, Wichita, Kansas or something, where, maybe a lot of currency ain't flowing through there, I might be going, oh, well, you know what, let them learn a lesson. But when it's New York, some lessons you go, if you learn that lesson the wrong way, you might not be able to recover from that. And that's how you're supposed to think as a American citizen. When you have kids, yeah, you want them to learn some small lessons so they can avoid the big lessons. The ones that, oh man, I learned a lesson and this one I can't come back from. See, you go ahead and you show them what not to do when you can still recover from them. Okay, you got a little bump on your head. You fell off your bike. Yeah, there you go. The lesson is be careful, watch where you're going. Don't be trying to jump off the curbs and stay out the street. But if you got to learn the lesson the hard way, like, okay, I learned that cars are dangerous by getting hit by one and now I'm paralyzed. I should have learned a little lesson. Now I can't recover from this one. All I could do is look back and say, I should have listened when people were telling me, stay out the street, look both ways, wear your helmet. I should have did that, but not me. Yeah, I'm going, man, shut up. You're just trying to hold me back and this and that. I went out there and I did something stupid and now I'm going, what have I done? This one I can't come back from. And if New York allowed this guy in, just like we watched, I think the goal is let me get my foot in the door. Let me bring others in the door with me and let me use my popularity and influence to pressure all of the Democrats that's trying to hang on to the old ways. Pressure them to allow me to have my way. And if they don't, I'm going to do them just like what I'm doing to Kathy Hochul, where I sat back and said, I'll let you know after the election, meaning this, let me win first, see how much I win by, see the reaction, and then I'll set my terms in regards to supporting you. But my thing is, I don't think he will, because remember, all the comrades were saying they don't want establishment Democrats. So for him to endorse her would be like him selling out to the establishment Democrat, unless she agrees to his demands. And right now he got her on the run where he probably could demand some things. So God bless y'all. I tried to lay it out as clear as I possibly could. Take the video, share the video, show your friends, clip it up, slice it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, all of that stuff. But yeah, New York is cruising for a bruising. But we'll see, what happens. So thanks for, hanging out with me this morning. Make sure on your way out, you hit the like button. Follow me on all the other platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to my alternative channel. Stop and think about it. And I'm going to be doing some live streams there. So start getting ready for them. And if you want to support the channel on the way out, you can do that through my Cash App, my PayPal link. Those that have just, given to the super chat, thank you. Whatever you've done, I appreciate it. And we will most likely be back here tomorrow. I'm sure results are going to be coming in, and we're going to be hearing the beginning of the end for New York if it goes the way I think it's going to go. All right, but we'll pray for them, and we'll definitely be there for their exodus if they want to get out of New York. However, if you come to a conservative state, leave that other mess behind. Don't bring conservative ideas to our states. All right, God bless. See you next time in Kev's Corner. Take care, because see, this is our city. Up north, got our hands around y'all throats. Up north, got our hands around y'all throats. I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah. God bless. Take care.